It's the Jackson JS11 Dinky, which is a guitar that, based on this one, I cannot recommend. Hello and welcome to another video with me, Elmo. It's good to have you along. Yes, today we're checking out a cheap beginner guitar option. So, what I'm going to say, I'm going to qualify with two things. One, it's all based on this particular one. Two, I'm going to assume that it's going to a beginner. So, some of the issues with this guitar were things that I could remedy. Some, a bit worse. So, it costs 175 euros. There are cheaper options out there, but it's still really cheap. It looks nice. Credit where credit's due. I think it reminds me of the red guitar that Steve Vai was playing in the Crossroads movie. It weighs 3.3 kilos. Poplar, maple neck, amaranth fretboard. Sounds like a symphonic metal band. Oh! 12-inch radius. Let's not go there this time. Yeah, and it had quite a bit of fret sprout. That is something that is not an issue for someone who knows what to do about fret sprouts and has the tools to do the thing about the sprouts. So, let's see what it sounds like. Oh, by the way, here's one thing. Something's loose here. I haven't checked that out. I'm not going to take it to the bench today because I've already had it at the bench. I've done the fret sprout thing. And I'm going to tell you why. But I am going to show you how I set up a trem for my liking, which is actually one of the reasons I noticed something about this guitar. Because trems usually don't come set up like this. Some clean sounds. It usually helps if you plug the cable in the right amp. Oh, and we have a signal. Very nice. So this is one of the issues with the guitar. It doesn't have really rocky frets except for the third fret, I think. You can hear this clean. That's not the worst part. The worst part is this. So I had this over at the table, which I showed you in the Moore video, which I'm going to feature in other videos. And the problem was that the nut is terrible. I don't have tools to work on a nut. And with this, I would need to fill in the nut and then cut new slots, or at least the low E. So you want the distance between the string and the first fret to be around 0.5, because that means when the string vibrates, it has room so it doesn't vibrate against the fret. This is just over 0.2 mil, which is way too little. You can even just see it, it's almost touching. And then you get this, which is a huge no-no. So, if you're a beginner and you get this guitar and you have fret sprouts, you probably don't want to be dealing with that. For me, for a beginner guitar, it shouldn't have fret sprouts because beginners don't want to be dealing with that. But the second thing is the nut. Absolutely terrible. And so you can take this guitar or a beginner guitar, any guitar, to a luthier and he or she,
thank you, brother or sister,
will set it up for you. And that will cost some money. And that's something that I recommend that you do if you don't know how to set up your guitar yourself. But that should only be for setup. If you have to take your guitar to a luthier so that they set it up, then they set it up, then they fix fret sprout, then they make a new nut or fix the old nut. That's already 3 things. Each procedure will add cost to the final bill. Do you really want to be paying extra money to fix fret sprout and nut issues on top of a basic setup? I don't think so, unless you just like giving your money away. But that's still not the final issue with this guitar. Yes, it still has an issue. Oh, an issue. My aren't we grand today? Pardon me while I fly my aeroplane. Before I go on, I would like to say that this video is very much sponsored by the good people who support this channel in various ways. You can just like, hype, comment, watch till the end, that kind of thing, if you don't want to support in a monetary sense. But there's also channel memberships where I release full-length versions of the jams that I do in these videos, might release backing tracks, might do something else there as well. Plus there's Patreon, of course. Yeah, you can find all that in the description. Above all, a huge thank you to anyone who supports this channel, lets me buy the gear that I review, so I don't have to sugarcoat anything. Let's turn off the overdrive. The pickups sound fine. One thing about this is that the neck, in true Jackson fashion, is very thin. It's for all of those Shreddy McShreddersons out there. So let's do some Shreddy McShredderson. Oh, the sheer feeling of Mr. McShredderson. Yes, I'll stop shredding now, because the only way you can play with feeling is to play slow. Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, what's there to say? Thin neck, 2-point trem. It has a volume and a tone and a pickup selector. It has tuners which rattle, and it has... Well, the way I set up a guitar with a trem like this is that I wanted to have a floating trem so that I can pull up and raise the pitch by a whole step on the G string. G string. Yes, I'm an infantile person. The way you do that is you remove the back plate, which I've done here. That's all. I do that the first thing usually when I get a guitar. I've removed that and discovered two things on this guitar. One was a positive. It has the bigger block, which is probably made of pot metal, but still it does wonders for your tone and sustain. No, it doesn't. But a bigger block means that they've invested a bit more into that, which could mean that they've invested a bit more into the guitar in other parts as well, at least in terms of maybe effort. So that wasn't the case in this guitar. But it seems that they've painted the guitar and then they've routed out the bit for the back plate, because that's not painted. The inside of the guitar is. It's really weird. Anyway, what you need is you need a screwdriver and a tuner to set up the vibrato system, the trem. So you loosen the screws here because the screws and the springs are pulling this bit one way while the strings are pulling it the other way. That's how it works. So you loosen the screws until you get whatever you want. I mean, if you want less than a whole step on the G string, do less. But the fact that I did this on this guitar exposed another problem. Let me demonstrate. Here we have the G string. So I want it set up like this. So I can pull up a whole step. It's roughly in tune. I press down. It's roughly in tune. I pull up. You see, what I did after I pulled up on the G string to the A was that I released and then I pushed it down just a bit so that it would return to the right pitch. Not very nice at all, and that can be a few different factors. It can be the springs are crap, the screws are at a bit of an angle. They shouldn't be at an angle, they should be drilled straight in. That would help. That might be one of the issues. And it might be that the knife edges aren't sharp. That would mean that the trem will return to different pitches. Now, if you have a guitar, I mean, I'm going to assume that the person who buys this guitar is a beginner. Actually, regardless of who buys this guitar, with these issues, and I can only speak about this guitar because I haven't tried other Jackson JS11 Dinkies.
You want to take a dinghy? No, I took care of that at the press conference.
With this amount of issues, for me, it's a big no-no. I'm gonna send this back. And I mean, it's okay if you like a thin neck. I like a slightly larger or girthier neck. Pickups sound okay. It has a volume, a tone, and a pickup selector. The pots, I don't know what they're gonna be. Do you want to check inside the guitar and see what that's like? Let's do that. Actually, not really for the pots, but for the pickup selector. The pots are small, which, on a guitar of this price, actually, couldn't care less. But the pickup selector I care a bit more about. It's the cheap kind, which might work fine, or it might work a day. So what's the verdict? Well, the verdict is kind of bleak. Yeah, it's not the best. This story has a moral. What is that moral? The moral is try before you buy. It's always the same thing. Always try before you buy, or make sure you can send it back. That's why I'm happy with Thomann, because you can always send stuff back. They don't even ask any questions. I've never had an issue with them. If you were to buy this guitar, this particular guitar or one with similar issues, well, not this particular one because I fixed the fret sprout. But if you were to buy a guitar like this where you had fret sprout nut issues and the whammy bar issues, you would have to spend a whole lot of money. And I'm assuming you don't like spending a lot of money on useless stuff. Maybe I'm just crazy. You would have to spend a lot of money to get this to work properly. And the trem system thing might actually become really expensive depending upon what the issue is. It might be fairly cheap. Depends on the issue. Ooh, an issue. No more buttered scones for me, mate. I'm off to play the grand piano. Well, with the way this guitar is, I think most of us would want to play the grand piano more than this. Absolutely terrible. Waste of money. 175 euros. There are cheaper options out there that are better. The Harley Benton SD62, I think it was, comes to mind. Cort G110. If you want a two humbucker thing, Ibanez had some assortment of letters jumbled together from a Scrabble board into a model that makes no sense. GRX 40QIZ umlaut, I don't know, something like that. But they had some really good options. Yeah, Sire, those are more expensive. Jet makes some great stuff that might be a bit more expensive. eArt has some stuff. The world is filled with great budget guitars, and this is not one of them. This isn't even decent. This particular one is terrible. Oh, and the rattle, that's no big issue, but still, it's just another thing that's wrong with this. Too many things wrong with this. In this day and age, I don't think you should expect to have to do this much to a guitar to make it playable. So, this one is going back. That's why it won't be on the table. I won't be wasting my time and energy working on this. If you want to watch a video with brilliant alternatives, that video is here. I do hope you consider supporting the channel, but above all, I hope you had some use of this video or enjoyed it, and I hope you have a nice day. Take care. See you. Be kind to each other and yourself. Goodbye.